Hello Neowin, and after concluding our super smartphone showdown last week, we're back again for another look at a new smartphone, and today we have the LG Optimus 4X HD, their new flagship device from basically a sequel to the LG Optimus 2X of last year. This is their first quad-core phone, and we'll get right into checking out some of the things that this phone is capable of. On the design front, you can see that this device is reasonably square. Very square corners here. They're slightly rounded, which does improve the feel of the device when it is in your hands. Of course, it is reasonably large with the 4.7-inch display. Most notable about the design of this is the back. It is textured somewhat. It is, of course, made of plastic, but thanks to the texturing, it doesn't feel too bad. The thing I'm most concerned about with the design is this ridge that runs along the edge here. It looks like fake metal, but it is actually plastic. I'm not convinced that it feels the best or adds the most to the design of the Optimus 4X HD. Notice at the top and at the bottom there is a reasonable amount of bezel, but it doesn't make the phone too large, and on the sides there is virtually no bezel to speak of. On the bottom there you might be able to make out the three capacitive buttons that the phone uses. You notice that it uses a menu button here rather than the app switching button. Not convinced that's the best choice either to use, but overall I'm not complaining about the design of this phone. It is reasonably nice and it looks reasonably good. Another thing that I was a bit unsure of is using the power button on the top of the device there. Not sure if that is the best. Of course, there's a volume rocker there, and there is a micro USB port on the bottom. Not sure that, again, that is the best choice on the top, but overall, a very nice design. This is the display of the LG Optimus 4X HD. It's a 4.7-inch True HD IPS LCD display, coming in at 1280 by 720, of course, making it a 720p display, and it does look very nice. Color reproduction is very good, as of course it is an IPS panel, as are viewing angles. It's not as good as the Super LCD 2 that you might see on the HTC One X, and black levels aren't as good as the Super AMOLED HD on the Galaxy S3, but you can't really complain about the display on here. It's also very bright and very crisp, as you might expect from a device that uses an IPS LCD display. 4.7 inches is also perfect for media, and while this device is large, it doesn't feel too large in the hands, of course, due to the design. I do really like the display on here. I definitely think it is better than some of the other LCD panels I've seen, but again, not as good as the Super LCD 2 on the One X. The performance of the LG Optimus 4X HD is really good, and that's of course for a number of reasons. You get the Tegra 3 chipset in here by NVIDIA, which comprises of a 1.5 GHz quad-core ARM Cortex-A9 CPU, plus the Kal-El ultra-low power GeForce GPU inside. It is not as powerful as I've seen with the Samsung Galaxy S3, but it does allow for a reasonable amount of performance. You also get 1 GB of RAM in here and 16 GB of onboard storage. There's quad band HSPA, Bluetooth 4.0 and dual band Wi-Fi, as well as NFC. We're just getting into a game here of Mass Effect Infiltrator, which is one of the games you can get on the Play Store, and you'll see just how powerful this GPU is at delivering frames to the 720p display that is used on here. Of course, again, the Galaxy S3 is more powerful, not in terms of the CPU, but mostly the GPU. But I don't think you'll be disappointed anyway by the Optimus 4X HD. Also, because it's an NVIDIA chipset, you do get the Tegra optimization for a number of games on the market. Not sure if people are huge mobile gamers, but that is an advantage. This game does run at 60 frames per second easily, and it is quite 3D intensive, so it is a good it's a very good benchmark for things like this, and it's a good game too, so I recommend that you check that out. But you can see just here just how smooth it is. You can see just how smooth it is to play this game. Not going to play anymore because it of course is reasonably hard to play through the viewfinder. The next thing that should be looked at is the Optimus 4X HD's camera. It's not particularly amazing, and the photos it creates I wouldn't go to say are outstanding in any way, and the Xperia still claims the top device, but there are some unusual things that this camera does. For one, its focusing is not particularly good, and it takes a reasonably long time to get the focus. And I'm not sure if this is coming through the camera here, but it's reasonably laggy to focus, and while this Xbox controller that I have here is not a particularly good thing to test this on, but it often fails to actually get proper focus. It does have zero shutter lag, but if you take the photo before it's actually focused properly, you get an out of focus shot, and that's never fun. There are a reasonable amount of settings that you can see here to control things. You get scenes and things like that, HDR panorama. There's also an option here for what they call time catch shot mode. And basically, you press the shutter. It takes a while, but it takes a lot of photos. And once it has finally compiled them all, you basically get to have a look. It loads all the photos it has taken, and you can choose the best one out of the ones that are there. In the video mode, it does record at up to 1080p, and you can see the sample shots in the recording, but there is also a number of effects that you can apply. These are found in stock Android, and they've made their way through to the LG ROM, which is very nice to see. In terms of video playback, this device is definitely one of the best that I've ever seen. In the stock video player, which is what I have here, you see I have most of the test videos are in here right now, but you can see, for example, that it will actually play the most difficult thing to play right from in the stock player, which is something I have never seen before. And you can see it now playing Amazing Life from within the stock player. It does do some interesting things, the stock player. You have a pull-out feature, which allows you to browse through some of the other videos on your device. And also you can press this thing, and it basically allows you to scroll through and see what parts of the movie are in what. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually work with this particular video type, but it does work with others. Audio quality is not what I would call outstanding, but the video quality and the features that you do get in that it plays pretty much every video type imaginable means that this is a very good media capable device. If only it had a better camera, then I would go as far to say that it's one of the best I've ever seen. But alas, the camera is not that good. Some other tidbits about the Optimus 4X HD. I had no problems with the call quality or anything like that. And as I mentioned earlier, battery life is alright. Really, I'm very happy with most of this device. Unfortunately, I do feel as though it's not particularly good in some areas such as the camera. In other areas, while it is good, it doesn't particularly beat anything else that is on the market. For example, the display, while it is very nice, the display on the One X is better. And while the software is very nice, obviously stock Android is going to be better than that. The performance is very good. The Tegra 3 is very capable, but unfortunately the Samsung Galaxy S3 beats it in that area. So while it is an all-round very good device, it isn't really a standout in any particular feature. I do have to applaud LG though for finally creating a new flagship device, and it does seem to be capable. So if you do end up choosing the LG Optimus 4X HD, you should not be disappointed in any way. I'd like to thank bobbycity.com.au for sending me out the LG Optimus 4X HD here for review. And thank you. If you want to check out some of my previous video reviews, on the left hand side there will be a quick link to the Samsung Galaxy S3 video review I did, And on the right, please check out the playlist that will take you to the Super Smartphone Showdown. That's around about an hour and 15 minutes worth of content, so if you have the time, please check that out. And of course, subscribe. You will get videos like this straight into your inbox. Thank you.